Hello and welcome. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has visited the northeastern city of Maiduguri with a pledge to restore complete peace after triple suicide bombing killed 23 people. The Monday evening attack on the main market, a post office area and entrance to a University of Maiduguri teaching hospital just after people in the city broke their Ramadan fast was one of the deadliest attacks in the Borno state capital in years. Uyi Agbomofuegbe has the rest of the story.
With President Bola Tinubu on a state visit to the United Kingdom, Vice President Shettima traveled to Maiduguri and visited the wounded in hospital. The Vice President told reporters that the Tinubu administration will not rest on its laurels until complete peace and sanity are restored across the nation.
We are here to commiserate with the government and people of Borno State over the sad incident of the suicide bombing attempts. I want to assure the people that we will not rest on our oars until full peace and sanity is restored in Borno, the Northeast, and the nation as a whole. It's a tragedy because no religion sanctions the killings of the innocent. But these demented monsters called Boko Haram, I don't even consider them as members of the human race.
Nigeria's 17-year-old insurgency shows no signs of abating as suicide bombers once again target urban centers. Gunmen launch coordinated raids on multiple military posts at once, and front lines shift from war's northeastern epicenter. The country's defense chiefs have also rushed to the city, arriving hours earlier. Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede pledged such attacks will not happen in the future, stating that a spike in attacks comes most times with the Ramadan season. Uyi Agbomofuegbe reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, Chief of Defense Staff General Olufemi Oluyede has called for collective efforts and acts of terrorism bedeviling the country. General Oluyede made the call in Maiduguri following the directive by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in response to the renewed wave of terrorist activities in parts of the Northeast. Again, Uyi Agbomofuegbe completes the story.
General Oluyede, who was speaking to journalists after a closed-door session at the headquarters Theatre Command Mai Malari Cantonment in Maiduguri, stated that ending terrorism in Borno and Yobe states requires a collective approach. He said citizens must take ownership of the security challenge and collaborate with security agencies. On the issue of modern equipment by insurgents, the CDS pledged that the Nigerian military would deploy advanced technology to counter and defeat them.
It's true that there's been an upsurge in attacks within the Northeast within the last 1 month. Well, it's not something that's new because it comes most times with Ramadan. But you know that we're doing our very best to checkmate this, and we'll continue to do that. But why I'm here today is to ensure that in future, this will not repeat itself. But for us to end this act of terrorism, the people of Borno State and Yobe State must take ownership of this problem. Because the bulk of the people perpetrating these heinous acts are from these states.
The president had earlier directed the immediate relocation of key military leadership to the region as part of efforts to decisively tackle the security challenges and restore peace following deadly attacks by insurgents that resulted in loss of lives and property. Top military officials deployed to Borno State include the CDS General Oluyede, the Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Wade Shuaibu, and other heads of the armed forces. Uyi Agumofwegbe reporting for Global TV News.
Yobe State government has ordered the temporary closure of recreational centers across the state during the Eid al-Fitr celebrations, citing security concerns. Brigadier General Dahiru Abdusalam, retired, the special advisor on security matters to Governor Maybun, announced the directive, noting that situations does not support large gatherings, especially among young people. He also directed security agencies and local authorities to enforce the order, urging all commanding officers of the unit, officers commanding forward operation bases, divisional police officers, and the 17 local government councils to ensure full compliance with this directive within their respective areas of responsibility. Over now to the Labour Party has taken major steps towards consolidating its structure and preparing for the 2027 general elections, following a National Executive Council meeting held in Abuja. Political correspondent Obong Osoro has the rest of the details.
At a well-attended statutory meeting in Abuja, observed by the Independent National Electoral Commission, the National Executive Council of the Labour Party approved a comprehensive timetable for its internal processes in line with the Electoral Act 2026. The Council passed a vote of confidence in the party's leadership, led by Nadadi Usman as the National Chairman and Darlington Nwokocha as the National Secretary, reaffirming their mandates to steer the affairs of the party.
The governor was heavily represented by the deputy governor. You know, there are some components that make up the Labour Party. The TUC, the NLC, they were all there. Their representatives were there that formed the NEC. The regulator was there, the INEC. We had 7 members and all of them senior members of INEC.
As part of preparation for the upcoming elections, NEC approved April 15, 2026 for the submission of its membership register to INEC. It also fixed May 15 for the conduct of governorship, National Assembly, and State Assembly primaries, while the presidential primary election is scheduled for May 23, 2026. Following recommendations from a disciplinary committee chaired by Salisu Muhammad, NEC approved the suspension of several members, including Umar Farouk and the rest, over alleged anti-party activities and acts of indiscipline.
Distinguished Senator Nenadi passed a vote of confidence on Distinguished Senator Darlington Nwokocha, the Secretary, passed a vote of confidence just like that, the organs of the party. There is nothing like in our constitution, right from time, there is nothing like NEC forum.
A vote of confidence was also extended to the party's National Working Committee, Board of Trustees, Organized Labour Leadership, and Abia State Governor Alex Oti. Ubong Osoro for Global Television News.
Muslims across Nigeria celebrating Eid al-Fitr, also known as Salah, following the declaration of a public holiday by the federal government. Again, Obong Osoro reports.
The federal government, through the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, declared Thursday 19th and Friday 20th of March 2026 as Salah holidays, urging Muslims and Nigerians at large to reflect on the values of sacrifice, obedience, and unity. The festival, which commemorates the willingness of Prophet Ibrahim to sacrifice his son in obedience to God, remains one of the most significant events in the Islamic calendar. Across Abuja, the roads are dry and scanty as many residents stay home with families sharing meals while others continue their daily routines. Lucas Sunday, who spoke to us, said he is enjoying his holiday adding that it is a time to relax and celebrate with.
Fine, it's normal, it's going well.
Ali Garba said he is not enjoying the holiday as things are very difficult.
I would lie, actually, some people gain holiday while some are still working.
Obi Eze added that the day is a normal day, while Esther Chuku said she is at work and not having any holiday.
Not really, I'm at work, so it's not really a holiday for me.
While the holiday provides an opportunity for celebration and reflection, economic realities means many Nigerians are still engaged in work and other activities. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Overnight, the Imo State Commissioner of Police, Audu Garba Boso, has assured residents of hitch-free Eid-il-Fitri celebrations across the state. As the commander testified security measures, the commissioner gave the assurance while briefing journalists at the state police headquarters in Owerri. Our correspondent, Amarachi Ibe, tells us more.
Imo State Commissioner of Police, Audu Garba Boso, says adequate deployment of personnel has been put in place to secure worship centers and public space. He says the move is part of broader efforts by the command to maintain peace and order, especially during the festive period.
I wish to assure all Imolites, both at home and in diaspora, that adequate security measures have been put in place to ensure that upcoming Eid-il-Fitr celebrations are hitch-free in Imo State. There will be maximum deployment of security personnel at worship centers, recreational facilities, while ensuring free movement of traffic flow throughout the state. I advise all travelers during this period to drive safely and to obey traffic rules and regulations to guarantee a safe and peaceful festive season.
The police boss also revealed that within the past 1 month, the command has recovered major operational breakthroughs, leading to the arrest of 75 suspects for offenses including kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, terrorism, murder, and stealing. He added that arms and exhibits recovered include 3 AK-47 rifles, magazines loaded with 65 rounds of live ammunition, locally made pistols, and 6 stolen motorcycles. Highlighting the key operations, the commission pointed to the intervention at Adapam in Ohaji-Egboma local government area, where suspected IPOB and ESM members attacked government property.
Within the period under review, we arrested a total of 75 criminal suspects for offenses including kidnapping, armed robbery, cultism, terrorism linked to IPOB, ESM, murder, and stealing. We also recorded substantial recoveries, including 3 AK-47 rifles, 3 magazines, 65 rounds of live ammunition, 2 locally made pistols, 1 Beretta pistols, and 6 stolen motorcycles.
The Imo State Police Command says it will sustain its security operations to ensure a peaceful environment before, during, and after the Eid-il-Fitri celebration. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe reporting for Global TV News.
Governor Hyacinth Alia has called on Muslim community in Benue State to use this period of Ramadan to promote unity and religious tolerance as critical pillars for peace and development of the state. Governor Alia made the call when he hosted the Muslim faithful to an iftar, which is the breaking of fast at Government House, Makadi. Correspondent Felicity Indere tells us more from Benue State.
Iftar, the daily breaking of fast during Ramadan, remains a central spiritual ritual for Muslims across the world. In Benue State, Governor Hyacinth Alia joined the Muslim faithful, emphasizing the need to reflect on the values of peace, sacrifice, and coexistence.
This period invites us to continue for all of us to stay together, pray for each other, pray for the federal government, pray for our leadership.
The governor used the occasion to urge citizens to pray for the state and the nation amid ongoing security challenges, while assuring intensified efforts to end all forms of insecurity across the state.
It is very important that God has made something that is very unique this year. This is the first time I understand, like in 30 years, that both Muslims and Christians who are doing their Ramadan and their Lenten season starting at the same time and ending about the same time. One of the very important aspects of doing fasting is to pray. And when you starve yourself, you give something up so that God will take possession of you. Believe me, the moment you pray, He answers your prayers like that.
The governor's special advisor on religious matters, King David Ajaf, and chairman of the Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Board, Abubakar Adamu, commended his leadership and described the gathering as a reflection of unity and religious harmony.
Your Excellency, sir, your commitment to the well-being of our community is truly commendable. We commend your commitment, unity and development, and we pray that Almighty Allah grant you more wisdom and strength, success and leadership. The entire Muslim community is fully in support of you.
The iftar brought together government officials, religious leaders, and members of the Muslim community in a shared moment of faith, unity, and hope for a more peaceful Benue State. In Makudi, Felicity Ndere, reporting for Global Television News.
Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Olakunle Nafiu, has reaffirmed that Corps members are covered by a comprehensive insurance package throughout their service year. Nafiu stated this in Abuja during a visit by the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria, Jibrin Indesh, noting that the welfare package includes both life insurance and medical care. He explained that the federal government has put in place measures to ensure Corps members enjoy a safe and memorable service experience, adding that the scheme also intervenes in cases not covered by health insurance. You are watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello and welcome to Thursday's weather forecast. It will be bright and sunny across the northern region, with temperatures continuing to rise into the 40s. Nighttime temperatures are also expected to stay warm. So if you are in this area, be sure to take necessary precaution. Across the rest of the country, it will be partly cloudy during the morning hours. There is a higher chance of rains in parts of the southeast, the southwest, and the south-south. A slight chance of thunderstorms is also expected in southern Kaduna, southern Adamawa, and southern Taraba, as well as the Federal Capital Territory, Plateau, Nasarawa, Benue, Kogi, and Kwara State. And that's the forecast. Stay weather aware. I am Akami Sawarda.
You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Cycle on Global Television. Thank you for staying with us. In business now, the federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to transforming the nation's correctional system into a hub for rehabilitation, productivity, and national development through strategic public-private partnerships. The Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Magdalene Ajani, made this known at a stakeholders' engagement in optimizing correctional farm centers in Abuja. Saadia Yakubu was there for Global Television.
The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who was represented by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Magdalene Ajani, emphasized that modern correctional systems must go beyond incarceration to focus on rehabilitation, skills acquisition, and reintegration. Tunji-Ojo also highlighted the position of the federal government during a stakeholders' engagement on optimizing correctional farm centers, industries, and PPP pathways conveyed in collaboration with key partners, including civil society and development organizations, noting that Such collaboration will unlock the full potential of correctional farm centers and industries, particularly in agricultural and vocational training.
Correctional centers are now understood as crucial platforms for transformation, rehabilitation, and construction of a new lease on life.
The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Sylvester Ndidi Nwakuche, reaffirmed the service's commitment to the ongoing reforms aimed at repositioning correctional facilities and centers of reformation and reintegration. He also disclosed that the service currently operates 18 farm centers and 10 cottage industries across the country, with extensive agricultural activities spanning crop production, livestock, fishery, and poultry. These initiatives, he noted, serve as platform for both inmate welfare and skills development.
The Nigerian Correctional Service currently operates 18 farm centers and 10 cottage industries, covering a total landmass of approximately 10,000 hectares.
In his remarks, Chairman House Committee on Reformatory Institutions and Member Representative ICO Iza South Federal Constituency, Chinedu Oga, called for greater accountability, innovation, and commitment in optimizing correctional farm centers. He stressed that agriculture remains a critical drive of economic growth and national security, urging stakeholders to move beyond dialogue to tangible implementation.
I want to urge us, the partners, you still stand to do a lot for us. Let the fund you are releasing to us should not be on paper.
The Executive Director, Hope Behind Bars Africa, Funke Adeoye, said the foundation has planned early legal intervention for waiting trial individuals, support for non-custodial measures, rehabilitation programming, and reintegration support for individuals returning to society.
We saw a gap within the custodial facilities, which is the gap of limited access to reformation abilities. We thought that we could use agriculture and mine reformation to address that gap.
Within these facilities, inmates are actively engaged in structured mine reformation, training, covering behavioral change, financial literacy, crop cultivation, and cultivation of second chances. They are also participating in structured agricultural production. Sadia Yakubu for Global Television News.
Growing crisis in the Middle East is tightening the knots around Africa's fuel supply chain, with many countries now running on just weeks of refined premium products as key import routes come under severe strain. The International Energy Agency says about 600,000 barrels per day on petroleum products typically destined for Africa for the Middle East are now at risk as tanker traffic through the corridor slows to a trickle. This follows escalating tensions linked to the Iran war, which is significantly disrupts shipments through the Strait of Hormuz, a critical artery for global energy flows. And on the foreign scene now, King Charles III has praised Britain's partnership of equals with Nigeria as he hosted a banquet for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Speaking during the first state visit by the leader of the Africa's most populous nation in nearly 4 decades, the king noted that Britain and its former British colony have a deep bond that has brought them enormous benefits. Uyi Agbomofuegbe tells us more.
The banquet in the historic Windsor Castle, west of London, saw King Charles and Queen Camilla host President Tinubu and his wife, First Lady Oluremi, as Nigerian officials, bankers, business people, sports stars, and cultural figures with Nigerian heritage. In his opening speech, King Charles described Nigeria as an economic powerhouse, saying it has not merely changed, but arrived.
As the connections between our nations deepen every day, so too do the economic ties. Your visit has provided the opportunity to celebrate the fact that Nigeria is investing in Britain's future as much as Britain is investing in Nigeria's.
President Tinubu stated that Nigeria and the United Kingdom share a vision of progress based on mutual respect and common values, stating that he was the first Nigerian leader ever to speak at Windsor Castle.
Our two nations share a vision of progress and resilience. Today, We continue that journey, committed to building a future rooted in partnership, mutual respect, and common values.
President Tinubu has made less formal visits to Britain several times in his tenure, and the two countries remain major partners in trade, aid, and defense. London is also home to a huge Nigerian diaspora. Charles and Camilla had earlier greeted the president and his wife in Windsor, west of London, on a sunny afternoon as artillery fired salutes and Nigerian flags and Union Jacks fluttered on poles along Windsor's main street. Uyi Agbomofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda have agreed to take concrete steps to ease tensions amid a stalled peace process after talks hosted by the United States in Washington. Conflict in eastern DR Congo has continued despite two countries signing a peace deal with United States President Donald Trump last year. The pledge to ease tensions comes after the United States earlier sanctioned Rwandan Defense Forces and 4 senior officials and accused Rwanda of directly supporting the M23 rebel group, blaming it for escalating the conflict. Over now to sports stories now. With just 8 days to the 3rd National Para Games in Abuja, anticipation is building around para table tennis, one of the standout events expected to draw major attention. The sport will feature 18 medal events with athletes competing in both wheelchair and standing categories. Known for its speed, precision, and tactical intensity, para table tennis remains a crowd favorite at major para sports competitions. Organizers say the competition will highlight inclusivity and fairness with participants drawn from multiple classifications. Fans can expect thrilling rallies, shape reflex, and high-level strategic play as athletes showcase their preparation. Nigeria's D Tigers have expressed confidence in a stronger showing at the 2026 FIBA Women's Football World Cup after reflecting on their recent qualifying tournaments campaign. The African champions endured a mixed outing at the qualifiers, finishing with 2 wins and 3 defeats, having beaten Colombia and Philippines, but lost to South Korea, France, and Germany. Despite those results, Nigeria had already secured qualification for the global tournament by winning the 2025 Women's Afro-Basket, with the qualifiers serving as part of their build-up. Now that's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.